Hello, hello. How everything is going, how everyone's doing. Trying to find everything here. Picture. Let's see. It's gonna change anytime. I wonder why the camera doesn't show nothing but the logo. We have picture. What picture? I don't see myself, honestly. I guess I'll open up my phone too. It's in mute. You guys see me? Yep, if you see the office and I'm there, that means you're seeing me, Mark. Not exactly sure why I don't see it on the live stream, but according to the software for the OBS for streaming, I'm there, so I guess I am. Let's change these accounts here really quick. How everyone is doing? How was the week so far? Is everything going according to plan? Well, it's really weird. It snows a lot when it's supposed to, but turns into ice really quick, especially the first couple layers. They don't plow actually here. That is surprising. They don't do much on the streets to keep it up with the snow. Oh yeah, I'm on a video. Now I see me. I have to pull up my phone because it didn't show me anything on the computer. But doesn't matter. I'm gonna guess that the software actually showed me what it is. So I have a couple things to show you guys what is going on, and as you know, we are shipping a lot of stuff. Hey Carlos, how you doing? So this is going to be kind of a test run. So I'm testing the microphone. I have a little microphone here. I'm testing the microphones. I'm testing the GoPro. There's another GoPro that is going to come connected. I just got the cables and all that, but it's going to be inside the laser. Also, let me show you here. I have, let me select this. We have here the screen to show as well light burn. So we're gonna have light burn and be able to explain everything in real time, and show a little bit here and there. That will be interesting to do. A couple of 40 watts in front of the car. I don't think the people is gonna like it, but must be interesting to see. Well, I just saw the post of Kobe. Kobe got his 40 watt, and I'm really curious to see what he's going to do with it. Besides taking the whole thing apart. You were asking Mark about the autofocus, if we can move the autofocus up and down depending on what we're doing or sending to a job. Yes, actually, the autofocus can change during the job the height per pass. So you can change the height per pass. And also, you can create layers with different focus points. In that way, once we finish one layer, goes to the second layer, which can be higher or lower, depends on how you focus. But that's the whole purpose of this, to simplify work and try to touch your laser with your hands the less amount of time possible, so you don't take things out of framing and things like that. I have here the rail for the Pro. I'm gonna be putting together the Pro soon. um, I did a couple of changes on my limit switches. This is by Kobe. He did the limit switches for the Devil One Pro. I just modify a couple stuff so I can use my drag chain, but I was running all the cables in this. So that could be done in sublayers. So basically, let's imagine that you create one layer, one pass work. Can be three, four, five passes that job, right? And you use a layer blue. The second layer can be the exact same image, layer black, if you will, and you can select number of passes and a different height for that specific layer. So that will allow you to do a deeper engraver, and of course, it's going to be a deeper cutting as well. You can go, as much as the prompt will allow you to go. If you're cutting a material and you are not using the nozzle like X tool that is really low, you can probably go a little bit lower even. For the infrared laser, for this bad guy here, it's actually a lot better because, as you can see here, this one is a lot different. Doesn't have a shield, doesn't have an air assist, so the autofocus is really almost touching down here and give you a lot of clearance. Just touch, wriggle it back, and there's a lot of clearance. So when you try to do engraving with deeper stuff on the infrared, that's actually an advantage. You can use the infrared a lot better and not miss the focus, especially because it's really hard to get it right on focus all the time. How's the audio, guys? Do you guys hear me okay? Besides the thick accent. Awesome. Who else we have here? Let's see. See the live chat. Someone asked me about the tilting on the module, that they reach out to Xtool, and Xtool said that having a module not perfectly square was normal. Mark, you have a lot of experience with that too. I believe in the beginning you have that problem until you use our z-axis. So having a module tilt is not ideal, but unless it's a lot of tilt or you're trying to do like a really thick material, it shouldn't be a major issue, to be honest. There's ways to fix it with the rollers. You adjust the rollers, especially the one at the bottom on the rail. Oops, there you go. So especially the one at the bottom here. Uh, this is kind of a weird way to do it in the way they put this one, but when you adjust it right and there's no wiggle in any way, you can actually fix a bit the problem with slant forward, I will say is really common on X tool having that little slant down. So just take care of this one here, to make sure that there's no wiggle, no nothing, and you tighten it here and here. So that's what this does. It's kind of a concentric nut, kind of. So let me show you guys a couple things. We changed a couple things recently, and it's to make it a little bit easier for some users, especially because there is a couple problems. Try to get the right conception of what laser you have, especially because you have 10 watt, 20 watt, 10 watt pro, 20 watt pro, so you can get confused really easy, right? Yeah, I remember we have this conversation, Mark, about your Z-axis fixing your issues with how much the module is land down. I think you have like a good half of an inch off. So I want to show you guys something that we did and we changed, and the names here are a little off right now because we just did these changes, but is going to be actually a lot better for everyone. So we have two, right? Two Z-axis besides the autofocus. Chris, how's it going, man? Two things that happens with the autofocus over time. We add functionality basically to correct that problem with the slant down. So it has a little support on the back of this to help with basically any kind of extra weight that will goes down on this part. So when you have a module here and the module start weighing forward, this is not going to weigh forward. It's going to help. And of course, this is a little better and tighter fit. Same happened with this one. So the red one is for pro machines. The black one is for non-pro machines. Pretty simple. Now, difference that we changed. Originally, we have one for 10 watt and one for 20 watts. Now we have one. So we still have the marking that says 5 watt and 10 watt, and the other one mark say 20 watt because we did that before I changed this little part in here. So the clamp now is a little bit bigger here. It's a little bigger. You see it going a little bit higher than the line. So it's literally one will fit both modules. So the 20 watt is about the same size of this. So you will see that the screw fits on the back and goes out. It's not hidden behind it. So we just wanted to simplify it so people don't get confused about, okay, I have a 20 watt. What could I use with the 20 watt? I have a 10 watt. I don't want to buy the 20 watt. So right now we're doing one size fits all. So the only difference is you have to have the one for your laser. Non-pro in black, pro in red. Pretty straightforward. We're trying to simplify things, not only with fitting, but also, in the purchase process. So for this person that asked, will the Z-axis correct how much my laser slant down? So the tilting down or forward or slant of your module is not just because the module itself is a little bit more because the dovetail in this case will be the carriage, right? Or it has a little wiggle, number one. Number two, the way the dovetail is being actually machined is not perfect, so distances and sizes vary. The tolerances are really big. So when you slide your module in, the module has a little bit of wiggle. When you tight the side screw to keep it in place, you actually push the model and turn it a little bit to the left. So all those things plays a role with Xtool, and that definitely is going to push your model a little bit out of whack, so it's not perfectly straight. This will fix a bunch of those problems. You always are going to have a little bit here and there of the rotation or probably the movement and the slant. But let me show you this really quick. Let me put this down. So I don't know if the camera is going to be able to catch that, but you will see that there is a bit of negative. So you see the line here, the black line in the middle row. There is a little bit of a negative. So it's actually trying to compensate that facing down. In that way, your model is not like falling. So one of the things that I'm going to start doing in lives is we're gonna start doing some work with design on Lightburn. I personally design everything on Illustrator. I've been doing graphic design for 20 years. So my idea is to, for example, people wants to do earrings with acrylic. All right, let's design something thinking on the material, thinking in the acrylic. So let's make in a pair of earrings with a regular laser, cut it, have it ready, and switch the module, put the infrared, and do some design over it. And we're gonna try to do everything. In my case, I'm gonna use a lot of Illustrator and a lot of Lightburn. You can use any favorite software that you have. You don't need to pay for software if you don't want to. The concept is going to be the same for both. Work on vectors, and maybe some names is going to be hard to identify and change software to software. But we're going to be looking into how to do a couple stuff. We want to talk about configurations. We're talking about how to do different things. Like I have right here in my hand right now a piece of a drag chain, and I want to show right now how you guys open the drag chain too, and how to put the links, so separate links, because I have a couple users, that or they got the wrong one or they got the standard, and then now they want to buy the extended, but they don't know how to pass all the cables, or they just got the one for Devil One that doesn't include the cables already in, and they're struggling to pass the cable. So I gotta be clear, this is not a pass the cable kind of drag chain. This is more a lay down the cable on the drag chain. And for that, you gotta open the drag chain. So let's see if I can open this drag chain really quick without breaking anything. If I can find, here's some all my tools everywhere. I'm just gonna grab an X-Acto knife. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna take this. I don't know why I put it on a circle. There you go. So put a drag chain on the table. Don't do it in the air. And there's a little gap. You see the bridge here, and there is going to be like just a tiny gap here. You can use a really small screwdriver, a flat one, or you can use an X-Acto knife. So you're using an X-Acto knife, just make sure that this one fits, and push down and do a little lever, and that will open the little door, just like that. When the door is open, you just keep doing it all the way. Lay your cable flat, manageable, and before you close it, close a couple and make sure that it's bending and moving. This needs to be freely. A little resistance is okay, but not a lot. This needs to be moved freely. When you finish it, close the door and push it down. When you hit a click, you're set to go. That's all you have to do. It's a tedious job. Yes, it is. And I know because I put all the drag chains together myself. So if you got a drag chain for me, and you think that was a lot of cable and a lot of little doors, yes, it was. Absolutely right in that. Yeah, Dave. I gotta finish. We're gonna be finishing orders for drag chains that they were in pre-order. So we start shipping yesterday. We shipped yesterday about 12 drag chains and 20 C-axis and a bunch of different other stuff. We're shipping today. I mean, it's all about manpower right now, but we are going to be putting together more drag chains today and creating labels. So hopefully by the end of the week we have all the drag chains out of the door. So all the drag chains, by the way, to go in priority. So usually it takes 2 3 days to be there. But yes, that's pretty much. Well, it's gonna be a long drive. I mean, you're far from here. What you guys are looking to see in the channel? We want to do a lot of tutorials. We're gonna do a lot of kind of a okay. I have problems with a machine. How I can do this? How I can do that? Through that, you welcome. Why not life? What is the name? Why not live life? That's actually a really good question. Why not live life? You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for supporting us. And we try to do. I mean, here's something. Let me turn the camera a little bit. All this is parts, and something that a lot of people don't know. Because actually, I was accused of that before. A lot. Some users say you buy everything in China and resell it at a higher price. Actually, let me show you one thing that I buy in China. I buy this in China. Screws. But everything else is put together. Screws, hardware, things like that I'm gonna use to put stuff together. All the rest is designed here. I put it all together. I print myself as parts. My girlfriend, Tess, a bunch of people already know her. She helps me with all the putting stuff together, labeling and packaging, and she tried to make sure that I don't screw orders because my mind is always in La La Land. So yeah. So to give you an idea, I have two machines. I have a Aters, whatever name is, laser. So one of the only modules that I don't have here is a 5 watt. I never review, I never work with a 5 watt. But for example, a 5 watt module has a really fine detail, and it will be great to do just engraving. Even if we're going to work on canvases, we're going to do something different. I think a 5 watt is a really good thing to have. Also, I'm gonna start making some stuff for the machine. So I have a machine to put together, and how this setup is going to work is I'm having for this table, I'm gonna have a GoPro up here that it's facing down this table. So the working table is going to be basically, hands on. This is how you assemble, how this is how you fix, this is how you do different things. So this is going to be kind of a hands on. Once we have that, this right now there's a huge light on my screen because I didn't have lights yet. They're in the garage. But the idea is my computer is going to be here. One camera is going to be facing here. You guys are going to see me with this other camera, camera on this side, and then another camera inside the laser. So we're gonna have three cameras basically, and Like I explained before, we're gonna get the library like this. With this, we're going to be able to talk about creating stuff. So when we start creating something and we start talking about how to configure or do, this is what we are going to use. So we're going to be able to have everything on our hands. And I don't want to sit down and create a video, edit the video, and there you go, guys, have fun. I want to have the same problems on the go. So if you guys has an issue, because we all have problems when we start working on something. We start working on library, and all of a sudden one specific shape doesn't cut, doesn't merge with another shape, or one file opens and it's completely crap. So what we're gonna do is we are going to work together to make it work in real time. So if I have a mistake and I do something that is not going to work, you guys are going to see that mistake. If I light up the place on fire because I've been careless with a laser, you guys are going to laugh live. So that's the idea. Now, it's important to say this is kind of a new thing for me. I'm usually behind the camera. I've been doing marketing and design for years, and I've been filming and I've been recording and doing videos, editing videos for YouTube and live for a bunch of people doing the production and everything. But I never have the chance to do it for me. So now I'm kind of a pushing into that direction. So I'm a fan of Star Wars. So that's why you guys see all this stuff around here. Uh, and definitely I would love to have more toys, but I also need a lot of. This has been a mess. I need a lot of space. What else I can show you guys really quick? I know some people said I want to connect and ask a couple questions. I don't see them connected yet, although I don't see all the participants either. But it's interesting to see problems that I don't have that we can work to solve. That is something really cool. I teach 3D animation for 7 years in college, and I gotta tell you, I learned more from the students that I actually learned when I was working. Because when I'm working, I'm already know the software. I'm already know what to expect in different uh, situations. But the students, they click things that they don't even know what they do. They break things, and they come with a question. I don't know what happened. I remember that was a question every week. So you don't know the process, you don't know what was wrong and what was clicked. So it comes like a reverse engineering of the process to try to find what was the error. And this is kind of one of the things that I'm looking forward to have in this live. I'm gonna try to go live at least once a week or twice a week. Uh, minimum twice. Minimum 1 2 weeks every 2 weeks, and optimal is going to be for me uh, once a week. So I've been told, Dave, that is compatible, but once you change basically the gantry, so they're gonna send you a whole new gantry. You're gonna replace the gantry for the one of the 40 watts, and the main difference is that the gantry is a little bit beefier, and they have a supposedly, I don't know, better stepper motor for work with the weight on the carrier. And the carrier is exactly the same width, but it's a little bit taller, and that's because the module is a beast. It's huge, apparently. So it's just to kind of a counterweight the whole thing. So you're gonna get a new rail, basically a gantry with that. So same dovetail than the other modules. It's just a little taller, so you will probably get a little bit extra range. and with that, I don't see why you can't keep using in your other modules. One of the things that I'm gonna do for this laser, I'm gonna swap my regular D1 and I want to use the Pro one. But this is something that I'm looking with Kobe. Uh, so for Kobe, one of the things that I asked him is to see how we can use on Devil One both. I want to use the Pro and the non Pro with one Devil One. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different. Oh my God. Sure. She's back there. So my idea is I have an adapter. I don't have it at hand, but I built an adapter. Some of you guys saw it, to be able to mount the non-pro modules into a pro machine, because there is so many people that wants to upgrade to a pro for whatever reason, but they don't want to stop using their old modules. So, for example, you have a 5-watt pro, but you already bought before a 20-watt non-pro. You don't want to spend another $800 to get a 20-watt, or $600 to get another 20-watt. You already have one, and going through the process of selling your 20 watt and try to get another 20 watt. I mean, I don't see that as an option personally. So my experiment right now is to be able to use the non-pro, and this is with Kobe. This is 100% Kobe merit. If it works, it's going to be Kobe. That's Kobe one. That's not even me. So if that works, for example, I have the non-pro infrared, and I'm going to be able to use it on my pro machine. But the only condition is you have to use it with a Devil One Pro. That's the only condition. So honestly, if that works, it's going to be great. I think so many people is going to be able to update it and just buy a 5-watt laser for $200-300. Uh, I'm working in a couple of adapters because I'm planning to use the Ater, I don't know the name, Aters, whatever name is. And I'm building the whole thing, different thing with that machine. But ideally, we should be able, and this is something that a lot of people know, we should be able to use the laser that we bought and update the parts that we need without having to buy a whole different machine, especially when it's less than a year old. A lot of people know that I like to work with everything a little bit back compatibility, so hope that makes sense. Well, actually, I'm getting a lot of help with Kobe. Kobe and I work together a lot. We talk a lot about different ideas. And it happens, sometimes I put an idea that what I'm going to be working, and someone else go ahead because it has probably more time or money or better shipping. My shipping here in this town sucks. Whatever is 2 days for anyone else on Amazon, for me is 15 days. But anyways, um, they just get the parts or whatever and do it faster, to say, oh, I win, I did it first. uh, I don't care who does what first. At the end of the day, a lot of people already know the quality of the products that we do. I don't like to put products out if I don't test the products myself and I don't use the products myself. And that was one of the biggest arguments with lenses. We test lenses and all kind of suppliers and all type of things before we put a lens out. Absolutely, I agree with you. It's not just about quality control. I think one of the things that I missed, and this is a conversation that Tess and I have a lot lately. We believe that customer service is going in decline everywhere. So I believe that we should be able to buy something and have a quality, customer service that it will tell us what is wrong and what is not with the product and fix it. Uh, we already spend money, so we want our value for what we pay, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we try to do, no matter what. I mean, you can buy one lens for $8, or you can buy C-axis autofocus for $100. For us, the customer service is going to be the same. Doesn't matter what you bought. Oof, this talking, it's getting dry. So another thing that we are doing and I'm working on, I'm gonna show you. I think I have it somewhere. I think. Oh yeah, it's, is here, there. I don't know what drawer. Which one is the magical drawer? That's a really good question. I was looking for there's a little module that I bought. Not sure where it is. I know it's somewhere in my drawers full of things. So I got a what is it? Atom Stack M4 from Kobe, and I'm doing really cool things for that thing. Like, I mean, it's not the biggest laser. Definitely, it's not a fiber. I know they want to say a fiber laser, affordable, or whatever, 2 watts. It doesn't have a single piece of fiber optic inside, so it's not a fiber laser. It's just a galvo laser, if you want to know what it is. And I have a new lens coming. Should be here next week. So if this work, I'm going to be able to extend the area because right now it's just 70 millimeters by 17 millimeters. It's tiny. Like it's smaller. It's smaller than this, and that is ridiculous. So if this work, it's going to be bigger than this. So I'm testing that. So yeah, we're not going to talk only about Xtool. I mean, we have Ortours, we have Atom Stack, we have, of course, Xtool. Now we have Actor. We have a little fiber. So we're gonna be looking to different stuff. Any question, Joe? Okay, this is a little bit weird because definitely I can tell you who has a better marketing team. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, man? So X will have the better marketing team than anyone. That's for sure. And also has the better. I'll promise you something that I will not deliver. But I have my problems with every laser manufacturer so far. Everyone has something that is not great. The best laser module so far for me is been X-Tool, like the laser module, not the infrared, but the laser module. At least it's been the most consistent. Machine wise, there's all kind because I've been playing with a 2 trees infrastructure for a little bit. The TS2, it comes with an auto lift and all that kind of stuff, and it's a lot cheaper than X-Tool. But it didn't feel and it didn't work quite well based on how sturdy the machine was, if that makes sense. Um, Ortur feels more like a toy and wasn't prepared for me to work with anything but super flat stuff. And here's the Ortur module. Here's the This is the 10 watt. Is I'm gonna say that it's okay, but it wasn't really good in the beginning. So I'm gonna say that each brand has something different that we can say is good. So far, my favorite is being X-Tool. I had some issues here and there with customer service, some issues here and there with different things in the machine. Most of them were fixed by me because customer service took forever. But again, all these companies came all the way from China, so they don't have everything in stock in the United States. They're trying, some of them, they're trying, and I know Xtool is trying to do that as well. But Xtool is like buying an iPhone. You're paying a little bit for the name. Samsung, iPhone. You pay for the name. You can buy probably the same in some other brand. Uh, so that's my opinion. Now, another thing that I want to tell everyone in here, every single thing that I have that I do for the laser, so every laser or every machine that I have, it came out of pocket. No one gave me anything free. So people that go say, well, they get the stuff for free so they can do this and that. Nope. And I'm a witness that, for example, Kobe buy his own things as well. He doesn't ask for free stuff. Would be nice if they send something, but no, we purchase everything out of our pocket. Andrew, you were asking me about the slant on the module, right? If you were here, knock 3 times. Someone was asking me earlier on the chat on Facebook Messenger about it. Not sure. For the module that is not perfectly 90 degrees and it's a little slant down. And I was explaining about the rollers and stuff on the laser itself. I just noticed the post of Kobe about the 40 watt, and I didn't notice, but it's almost as tall as his toaster. If it's that a toaster, bagel, yeah, that's a toaster. Defrost, reheat, yeah, it's pretty tall. Or it's a really short toaster. I don't know. Yes. So let me talk to you about that, and I'm gonna do it with this. So Andrew, this is X2 limit switch. Okay, just want to show you this. So this is what happened with the limit switches on X2, and this is where sometimes it's not the same spot. This is basically a infrared light going from one side to another. It's kind of a magnetic sensor if you want in some cases too, depending on which one they're using. I didn't find it yet. But what happened here, the let me grab this and explain it with this. So when the machine moved up and down and cut that laser image or connection between these two posts in here, and here, just go directly move in and cut here, tells the machine that it reached a point that needs to stop. So these are not the most accurate sensors on the market. And how I know that, when I was doing the autofocus and everything, I bought a bunch of different limit switches. I tried pretty much every possible limit switch I found and put my hands on. And the optical ones, like these ones, are not the best. Depending the speed that you are getting into it, is the response, and that response can be way too slow or way too fast, and that is not something that you can regulate very well. So this is not the most accurate. So for my pro, I have I'm using another switches because I changed everything for the Devil One Pro. I just have it in my hands because I'm passing cables to make sure that everything is fine. But I'm using mechanical switches, right? And I have the other one here. So in that way, when this goes down, you can see it hits in place. Same in the other way, it will hit in place. And for people say like you're losing space, no, really. You see this little black line here is about. Let me move this where it was the original limit switch. So it's using the same distance and same space in the limit switches of the original machine. And this is with Devil One Pro from Kobe, because we can't just replace the limit switches on X2 and have it work. They have pretty much their own thing. It's not the most accurate. So when you home on X2 and you send the job again to the same place, the this job can be a little bit off to the left, to the right, up and down. Who knows? And that affects how you cut. That affects multiple things. Personally, I would probably use origin instead an absolute coordinates and send it back to origin, check whatever I'm doing, and start from origin instead using home. That will be an option, and that is only doable with, I believe, Lightburn. I stopped using X2 Creative Space a long time ago. It was really limited. I hope that explains a little bit the problem of you home your laser and you can't get into the right same spot. It's not a precise limit switch, and that's why I have the limit switch in my hands and not in the machine. Even light can affect your limit switches. All the optical limit switches are weird. Even light can be affected by it. I mean, that will work. It's gonna make a nice bang every time it stops, but it will work. Let's put some water on this throat. It's like, damn. It's really funny. You guys said it's a nice setup for working that I have. You have no idea the mess that I have in this side. Yeah, I still don't like to hit the wall, but I mean that's an absolutely valid option. Um, I would use probably those silicone pads, anti-slide pads that you can buy on Amazon. They are basically a double-side tape. That might work too, and probably be a little bit more cushiony. Well, I learned by force about the limit switches because I spend so much time, and honestly, I spend so much money. This is one of the things that uh, I was talking with one of the users. The whole thread was huge on Facebook. why you sell something at that price if parts are cheaper? Well, it's not just the parts that I buy, you know. There's also the time, and there's also the amount of parts that I bought that they didn't work also, you know. So there is an investment to put up a thing together. Like the rotary tool that I'm making uh, is an adapter for X2 rotary. It's not a stay alone rotary yet. I'm working on it, but I have over, I'm gonna say, 400-600 bucks in parts that I buy. Sadly, I'm in a town that sometimes when I go and return something on Amazon because it's not what I was expecting, get lost. And the problem with my postal service here is that when they get lost, I don't get the money back. So it's money that I spent. So it's a lot of different things, you know. It's like every other business. You spend time, you spend research, you spend whatever, and if you want, at the end of the day, you gotta put something on top of whatever is the basic cost to cover, you know, the time in work. So I still try, and we really try to put the price as low as possible. Uh, but yeah, thank you, Andrew. What did you got? The honeycomb things, the pens. It's true. It's true. A lot of times, people that they're not doing a lot of businesses, they just consumers and they don't understand. And I'm fine with that. I mean, my day job, if you want to say, is marketing. I do websites, I do marketing and design campaigns and everything for clients. And I've been doing that. I finished my degree in marketing. I finished my degree in art, and this basically started like a hobby. Absolutely, and I can't complain. It's been a really nice hobby, and it's growing. It's growing, but a lot of people doesn't understand much how much is involved when you are creating a product. Yes, centering the honeycomb is, it's actually, Andrew, one of the first things that I did for Xtool. The very first thing that I did for Xtool. Let me show you. Actually, I have it here. Nope, I don't. I have it here. It's somewhere. Yep. No, I don't have it at hand. The first thing that I did for Xtool was a 12 by 12 honeycomb. It was because all the honeycombs on the market in that time were super expensive. So 12 by 12 honeycomb, we contact a manufacturer for aluminum honeycombs and metal frames, and we make one. And after that one came the problem, you know, you just start getting a little bit more into laser, and the same problem of putting your things center in a line with the frames on your honeycomb. So yes, of course, you use one ruler, a second ruler, a third ruler, and cross it and do all kind of crazy stuff. And then you realize that when you're cutting, things don't fall all the way down because they're too close, and you know, create more smoke that you want. So I did the razor, the honeycomb alignment. Um, this was another thing that changed over time a lot. This one changed a lot over time. And this one actually was made with Kobe. He was part of the development of this part, the C axis. We were the first ones that made the C axis number one and number two. We are actually the only ones that are making the C axis with all metal parts. All the mobile parts are metal, and all the 3D printed parts, if you want to say 3D printed or plastic, are the front plate and the back plate. And what this allows us is to have people to upgrade. So, for example, you have the old X2 D1, and for whatever reason you decide to stop using that one and you buy a X2 D1 Pro. You can just message me and get the front plate and the back plate for the Pro, and you still use the same Z axis. It's just different mountings, and it costs you a couple bucks. You don't need to spend another 60, 80 bucks on it. I appreciate that. Hydraulic table. That's really high tech. I need one of those for to lift my motorcycle so I can do the oil change. So yeah, that's a really good question. Is a standalone table or a cabinet? I'm gonna imagine that it's like a standalone table and he built over it, but we'll see. So guys, if you like the whole idea of this channel, please subscribe. You can put in the little bell, to get the alerts. Um, I'm gonna try to start doing this, like I said, every week or once every 2 weeks. I don't want to overcrowd people with, oh, I gotta do this and that. But one thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna start doing a little bit of a couponing, and once a month we're gonna try to come back with something to help people, a little bit of a giveaway or something, nice for people. And if you want me to review something, you want me to start looking into some issues specifically that are happening with something, can be your laser, can be your software, you don't know how to do something, please put your comments below. Happy to go through the comments, send messages. I'm always online, so send us a message, send us an email. There's a chat on the website, AlivePixelCreates.com. There is a chat. Please send us there anything that it can be useful. A metal upgrade for the Air Assist. So, on that note, I actually use Kobe's Air Assist on my laser, and it's been great. For a metal upgrade, there's three things that I will consider if anyone is working on a metal upgrade. Number one, a nozzle. Yeah, Kobe's is great, Mark. Kobe's is great. I use Kobe's on my Air Assist. Number one, the nozzle. Number two, any metal nozzle that you're gonna use, you're gonna need something better than just a fish tank pump. You need a real air compressor. And we gotta remember that these are still desk lasers. So not many people is going to be willing to have a decent air compressor to be able to use a full blown metal nozzle that needs a better, airflow and air volume. So, and also, personally, I wouldn't have that in the office I work with. There, the laser is right there, so I wouldn't put that in the office. The noise of the freaking compressor is going to kill me. If you're working on the warehouse or your garage, you might get away with it. I don't know if you're using Kobe's. If you're not, reach out to Kobe, give it a try. I've been using Air Assist by Kobe a long time ago. I have here. This is one of the Air Assist from Kobe. This is for the Pro version. So in this one, you're gonna see here that it has the little notch on the side. So you just put it on and goes out of the shield directly. You just connect here, we connect to whatever. And this is kind of a just pop in and out on the lens housing. It's pretty simple. It's a zero point 0.4 nozzle, I believe, just like a 3D printer or so. But let me tell you one thing. He actually took care of the angle to be the proper angle to go right where your laser spot is according to the model that you are using. So this is for the Pro, and this one here is for the non-Pro, and of course has the little turn thing that goes behind the shield to go out because they don't have a hole like these shields. But same thing. I mean, the nozzle goes right in the right spot. Uh, and here are the two X2 nozzles that I took off because I don't use them. Oh yes, it's a lot better. In my opinion, it's a lot better. Just take this in consideration. So I'm using the airbrush compressor. So we have a 0.04 exit here. So you can see that the air is going to be really centered, right? At the same time, it's on an angle. So it's blowing everything out of the lens. This one, look at the size of this thing. There's no way you can have a 30 psi going out of this unless you have a huge compressor. And if it's not properly sealed on the top, you are creating the air that goes in is creating a vacuum effect. So it's blowing air, but at the same time, it's like a tornado. On the center is soaking up debris. So those are going to stick on your lens. And since it's not sealed properly and it creates heat by friction plus the laser, it will start creating moisture. And that moisture is going to affect the longevity of your lens. Yep, that's exactly right, Mark. They don't seal on the housing. They just go in and tie it so they don't fail. Okay, guys, I'm not going to extend this more time. It's been really nice to know that the camera is working fine. Like I said, we're waiting for another camera that's going to be inside the laser. And Andrew, we can try to work on your camera. I have COVID camera. It's been a bless for me to work. It's really hard to actually configure though in the beginning and can be frustrating. But once you get a hold on that, it's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. There's a little bit more than just put it on and using it right away. But yeah, we can make a whole tutorial on how to set up the camera. Like I said, I'm putting another GoPro like this one inside the laser so we can see exactly everything that's going to be running while we're working on it. And I'm going to be setting up these other machines soon, and I'll be doing a video. The GoPro is going up there so you can shoot down to the table to put the whole machine together, and we can talk while we are working on it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining, and please thumbs up, subscribe. I know this is kind of a weird life, but we will be starting with a fresh tutorial really soon. So please stay tuned. Bye.